every single mental health provider has a why they want to be a therapist. And on the flip side, everyone has a why as to why they want to seek therapy. Stick around to hear mine for both. And also why I think having your own therapy journey is integral to becoming a therapist. Welcome, friends, and thank you for joining Woe to Woe. I am so happy you are here and ready to jump into the world of mental health with me. In case you are new once again, I am your host, Savannah. I am currently in my master's in mental health counseling, and I am taking you along for the ride with me as I begin to understand anything and everything mental health. So, my original plan before I decided I wanted to be a therapist was research. I had this fascination with how our environment shapes us, and if I'm being honest, how my own trauma shaped me. I decided to pursue this by working in the growth lab at UTSA during my undergraduate degree, doing research on child development, mostly as it relates to the memory of children and how that interacts with adverse experiences, which in case you don't know that word, it's just bad experiences. Working with the Growth Lab was so amazing. I loved it. I had a wonderful mentor who ran that lab. But as I did this research, I realized more and more that I wanted to be the one working one on one with people in regards to those issues rather than doing the research. If I'm being completely honest, I also harbored just maybe a little bit of negativity from seeing how academia treats professors and researchers, and also just the hoops that so many people have to jump through when they're doing research. So honestly, props to them if you're going into research. I think you're incredible. Couldn't do it myself, but I love the people that do it. Simultaneously, I was working at a therapy private practice during undergrad, and I gained a lot of experience working directly with clients. I was an office assistant, so I scheduled clients, and I was usually the first person people talked to when they started their therapy journey. Being a part of their journey, helping them find a therapist, helping play like matchmaker with therapist and client, and then also seeing that client months later still putting in the work and coming to therapy was so amazing. I knew I had to be a part of that. Don't get me wrong, the field is not perfect, but being able to make these genuine connections with people one on one and see them grow was my really big first aha moment. Also, just as a side note, when I began working at a private practice, this is not necessarily the path I saw myself taking. As I said, I was initially really on that research path, but I kind of did set myself up for success on accident and now have so much knowledge as I start the process of becoming a therapist myself. Pro tip, if you can get in as like an admin or tech in anything mental health field related, I would do it. I honestly was not that excited about working with insurance stuff, but now I have this baseline knowledge of something that I'm going to have to deal with probably for the rest of my life, which is wonderful. So that was kind of like my professional part of my little journey as to figuring out my why for the mental health field. All while this is happening, my own mental health journey is just kind of chugging along. I did some therapist shopping in the beginning and I kind of struggled to find someone that I felt super comfortable with until I did find that person. And I love my therapist now. Like, she's so amazing. And we really clicked. And I just felt safe with her. I trusted her. That's what it's all about. But a little deeper than that, therapy really helped shape the adult I am today. When I started college, I was just a kid coming from a pretty turbulent living situation and honestly, just a pretty up and down life in general where things were not in my control a lot of the times. Therapy helped me slowly but surely figure out how to be a person. I know that might sound weird, but it helped me learn and navigate what I need to take care of myself and be fulfilled. Not what social media says I need, or my family says I need, or my friends say I need, but what I truly needed for myself. Your needs are so individual to you and your experiences. That is why I think therapy is such a unique tool because it really helps you work through your specific issues and get to the root of what's going on with you. Therapy didn't by any means fix me, but it gave me the tools I needed to figure out who I am and what motivates me, and showed me how I am not a bad person, but all of my trauma and my lack of emotional regulation and my attachment issues was preventing me from growing up and becoming who I needed to be for myself. So, those are kind of three big journeys I took through my undergraduate program and early 20s that helped shape my why. And what my why boils down to is that I know I want to help people, yes, but deeper than that, I want to work in a field that allows me to work directly in my community, make genuine connections one on one with people, and I know this job will give me the freedom to explore my world, my passions, and new ways of thinking on a daily basis. The thing I really love about this profession is that you can go so many different ways with it, and you can also be a lifelong learner. So, as a therapist, you have to do a certain amount of continuing education just to keep up to date with relevant information and also just be a better therapist. I think that's so incredible that you're constantly learning and changing and growing as a therapist. That was really important to me. This conclusion came from understanding myself through both life experience and my own mental health journey. There are so many ways that you can help people, and this is not the only way to help people. Make sure that there's other parts of this job that you are interested in and looking forward to. If there's not anything else about it that's drawing you in, then you may experience burnout, lack of motivation, or honestly just waste your time. And trust me, it is a lot of time. It's a lot of time. You'll figure that out in my episode 4, where I go over the different paths to becoming a therapist and kind of break down exactly how much time and how much work it takes. So guys, the last question I'm going to answer: why is therapy necessary for future therapists, in my opinion? In case you didn't gather from the little journey I just took you on with me, therapy helps you acknowledge your own values and also your own biases, and whether they align with a field like mental health. Therapy also helps by ensuring you have the skills to emotionally regulate yourself, let alone someone else. And finally, it's so simple. So you know what the job is actually like. But you may have this vision of what a therapist is and what they do, but until you're sitting in that room, you really don't know exactly what it's like. So guys, I want to hear from you. Comment down below if you think a therapist should be required to get therapy before treating other people. Or if you don't, I'm curious. I want to hear why. And that's pretty much all from me, folks. I will catch you next week. Have a great week, guys.